Hello and welcome to Vidyarambaran channel. In the last tutorial, I have shown you how to use the interrupts with STM32 microcontrollers. Now today, in this tutorial, I am going to show you how we can interface the 7-segment display using STM32 microcontroller. Let's get started. So, if you look at the 7-segment display, so we have 7 segments starting from A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We have also 3 more extra pins which are available on the 7-segment display. So the namely COM, which is a common, and then we have a DP, and here also we can have a common. In the market, we used to have two kinds of 7-segment displays available. One is a common cathode and the other one is a common anode. So if you are using a common cathode display, so the COM pin you need to connect it to the ground. Suppose if you are using a common anode display, you need to connect the COM pin to 3.3 volts. And here each pin should be connected to a resistor. So here all the resistors are 100 ohms. You can also use 220 ohms, no problem. And then I have connected the segments, like segment A connected to PA0 and segment B is connected to PA1. Like that I have connected all the 7 segments to PA, starting from PA0 to PA6 of the nuclear board. And here we have a truth table. So here you can see the segment A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then let's say, for example, if you want to see a 0 here, so we want to turn off the G segment, and then we want to turn on all the other segments. So then we will get in hexadecimal, we will get 0 across the F for 0. Like that, I have done the truth table for all the other numbers starting from 0 to 9. That's all for the theory. Now let's get started with creating a project using STM32Cube IDE. Open the STM32Cube IDE. Now here I am going to create a project based on the previous project, that is a button underscore interrupt. So I'll show you how to create a project using the existing IOC file, that is STM32 CubeMX IOC file. So let's get started. So in the project explorer window, right click and then go to new, and then create a STM32 project from an existing STM32 CubeX configuration file, that is .ioc file. Now it will ask for the existing IOC file. So as I said, I'll create a project from the button interrupt project. So click on browse here, and then here you can see there is a button underscore interrupt IOC file. Click on that and then click on open. Then it will ask for the project name. So I'll give 7-segment underscore display. And make sure that everything is selected as default, and then click on next, and then click on finish. Now you can see that the project is created based on the previous project, that is button underscore interrupt. So that the advantage of creating the project using existing IOC file is that the Cube IDE will import all the project configuration which are configured in the previous project. So now we have copied all this configuration to 7-segment display project, because we like to use all these things. As I said, I'll configure the PA0 as a GPIO output, PA1, PA2, PA3, then PA4 as a GPIO output, and then PA5, and then finally PA6. So now here we have configured all the GPIOs for the 7-segment starting from PA0 to PA6. And then I'm also going to use the user button in the interrupt mode. So if you don't know how to configure the GPIO in an interrupt mode, you can watch my previous tutorial, that is button underscore interrupt. One thing I forgot to tell you in my previous tutorials is that to configure the serial wire debugger. So even if you have not configured the serial wire debugger, the Cube IDE will take care of the serial wire debugging or programming interface. So here in this tutorial I am going to show you how we can enable the serial wire debugger. Let's go to the system core. Under the system core, click on the system and then enable the serial wire. Now you can see that once the serial wire debugger is enabled, so you will able to see that on the STM32 microcontroller. So there are 2 pins will be selected, that is PA13 and PA14. One is a clock pin, other one is the data pin. So that's all for the configuration. Let's click on this icon to generate the code. Now the code is generated successfully. So in this tutorial I'm going to implement a small logic, and the logic is, so this is the logic. So if the user button is pressed, then the number on the 7 segment display will be incremented by 1, else the number on the 7 segment display will be decremented by 1. And here I have listed all the numbers which are specified in this truth table as an array. Now open the Cube IDE, and here first we are going to implement the button functionality. Okay, before that we will copy this logic here just to know that what we are going to implement in this tutorial. And here we are going to copy this array of elements, and then here we are going to implement the button functionality. Now in this tutorial we have configured the button as a external interrupt, so we need to take the callback. So if you don't know how to configure the external interrupt, you can watch my previous video tutorial on that is on button underscore interrupt. Let's go and expand the driver section here, and then here under STM32G0 Hall drivers, so click on this src and click on this gpio.c file, and here at the end we have a callback, that is falling edge callback function that we need to use. So copy this and go to main, and here paste it here, and here we are going to implement the button functionality. So that is, now if the GPIO pin is equals to user button, then we will assign a variable called button state is equals to 1. So we are going to declare this button state. Here it is an integer variable, it has an integer, and by default we will make it as a 0. So that's all for the button functionality. Here what we are doing is, so whenever the user button is pressed, and we are making this button state is equals to 1, and then based on this button state we are going to implement a small logic here in the while loop. So go to while loop, and here also we will declare the if condition. Now we are going to implement this functionality in the while loop, so based on the button state. So if the button state is equals to 1, then we'll check for the boundary, that is if, let's declare another variable called number here, let's make it as a number. So this number we are going to display it onto the 7 segment. So if that number is equals to, if this number is equals to 9, that means it reaches the maximum value on the segment, then we'll make the number equals to 0, else we will increment the number by 1. So when the button is pressed, it will check whether the number on the 7 segment is less than the 9. If it is equals to the 9, then it will make it as a 0, else the number on the 7 segment will be incremented based on the button press. Now here we will implement the button release function. So, and here also we will check for the boundary. Here when the button is not pressed and the number on the 7 segment is 0, then we will make the number as 9, else we will decrement the number by 1. And here when the button state is pressed and when we are going out of this condition, so we will make button state equals to 0. Then we will update this number on the 7 segment. So for that I will implement a small function called 7 segment underscore update. We are going to implement this function soon. and here we are going to pass this number as a array index. So the array is, this is the segment number. So here we'll pass this segment array and the index as a number. And then to see the changes on the 7 segment, we're going to call a delay of 1 second. So what we have done here is when the button is pressed, that means when the button state is equals to 1, then we are checking for the boundary here, and then if the number on the 7 segment is not equals to 9, then we'll increment the number. Again we'll make the button state equals to 0, and then this is the logic for the button release. Okay, when the button is not pressed, then it will check for the boundary again. So if the number on the 7 segment is 0, then it will make it as a 9, else the number on the 7 segment display will be decremented by 1. Now we are going to implement this function. So copy this and here, so void, let's declare the parameter here, that is integer underscore t. This is a number actually. Now here we are going to take the individual bits of the number, and then we are going to send that individual bits to the corresponding pins. So using hall underscore GPIO underscore write pin. So the port is GPIO A, that is port A, and the pin is GPIO underscore pin underscore 0. And the logic is very simple. We will take this number and right shift it to the pin number, that is 0 here, and then this should be AND with 0 cross 0 1. So here what we are doing is we are taking the first bit of individual bits of the number and then sending it to the corresponding pin numbers. So like that we have 6 more pins. Copy this. So I think we need one more. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6. So each and the number is shifted to the corresponding pin number, that is 5 here, this is 4 here, this is 3 here, this is 2 here, this is 1. So now we have implemented the 7 segment underscore update function. So this function will update the number onto the 7 segment display. Now that's all for the code. Now click on this project, click on this hammer button to build the project. Now we can see that the code is compiled successfully without any errors and warnings. Now click on this debug button. Now click on this resume button to upload the code onto the STM32 board. Now we can see the output. Without pressing the button, the number on the 7 segment display is start decremented by 1. So if you press the button, it will start incremented by 1. That's all for this tutorial. Thanks for watching it. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.